let's kind of just walk through the main things about it. I actually have a couple other new things that you haven't seen yet that I'm going to walk you through. But if you haven't been following along and you're just coming in to do a quick little catch up, this is the first version, and there's really two ways of doing a walkthrough or a way to create content here in version 2.0. We have our project workflow by hitting the create button. And that's going to start a project workflow. That means that everything's going to be recorded, everything will be tracked. This is a way to make sure that whatever you're building can be tweaked without having to start over. Now, another way of getting something done is what we call our fast build workflow. And that's just by clicking something on the left-hand side. So if I want to do a quick chat, I can just click on IntelliChat. And that's going to be stored into my general files. So everything is stored, but it's not going to be tied to a project. And if you just want to do something quick, it's no big deal, right? Just hurry, do that. It's saved as a conversation, but it's not going to be tied to a project, and it's not going to be pulled up if you're working in that project. Two different workflows that you can get started with. Now, we also talked about the power of Ruby Canvas. And Ruby Canvas has two completely different canvases that are there. We have our multimedia canvas, which you're looking at right now. This is the video audio editor. This is where you bring in anything and you load your media files, your audio files, whatever's working on the project that you're working on. This has everything in it. Now, the only way you get to this is by doing our project workflow, because that's where you're going to need the canvas. That's where you're going to need to be compiling multiple pieces of content, multiple assets together. And so through the project workflow, you're going to get to our Ruby Canvas where you can start to do everything. You can drag and drop your audio files in, your video files. And what's really good about this is you can see down this bottom, we never have to leave this one area to do anything. If you wanted to go in and do an audio file, all you're going to do is just switch the button and click on the audio. And the audio is just going to be pulled up right over the top of whatever you're working on. And now you can go in and you can create your new voiceover. You can go in and create music. You could go and do a speech-to-speech piece. You can do whatever you want that's there. And when you're finished with that, it just puts the window back down and it will show up in your audio files in the project. So you don't ever have to leave. Everything's in one place. Now, if you do leave, you're going to get prompted to save your project. You're going to save that project and you can come back and pick it up wherever you left off. And this is why Ruby 2.0 is going to blow everything else that's out there in the planet of AI content creation away, because of the way that it seamlessly work together. Now, a couple of things you haven't seen. Let's just talk about many things that we already have every day, like our new Spy Ghost look. So right now you go to Spy, you can see that there's some things there. But one of the things we did is we made it much easier to use Ghost to rewrite and to audit. Instead of having to do 2 clicks, you literally will just hit Ghost and audit, and it will do the rest of it for you. It will rewrite it, and it will automatically go and do the AI detection and the readability and the plagiarism check. You don't have to do anything else. It's one click. If there's plagiarism, it shows it down here. And what I like about it is we have a whole new fresh look and feel to it. You can get through, see all this, and we have some good things on the readability scores that will help you understand how to make them better, how to make them easier, but how really those readability scores work. And so you'll see some of that coming your way. Now, another thing that you're going to be, I think, happy with is the way Ghost works. Very simple layout. It doesn't get much better than this anyway, the way we had it. But you can import saved content and you can rewrite that. We have our information about Ghost. But here's what's really cool. Down in the versions down here, we have our drop-down menu today that goes to 4. Our new versions, though, has a 5+. Now, why is it 5+? Well, if you want to do up to 5 or up to 4, you can do that. But if you click 5+, it's going to give you a place where you can add up to 50 versions at one time. Now, what's awesome about this is that if you want to do 50 versions or 100 versions, you can do it twice. But if you can think about, hey, I need 20 different versions of this or 30 different versions of this because I want to do one for every day of the month. You can create them all with one click. And all of those will be saved if you wish to, or you can save the ones that you like. Now, this also happens in our alert platform that is now sitting there saying you don't have to sit there and wait because it takes time to write 50 of them. It might take it 3 or 5 minutes, depends on how busy the servers are. And so here's the thing, we're going to give you a notification. We're going to email you also when those are finished, and then you can go and get them. You don't have to sit there and wait and not do anything while it's thinking. It's all happening in the background, and you'll be alerted on the screen. If you're in the platform, you're going to get an alert. If you're not in the platform, don't worry about it. You're going to get an email that says your versions are now complete, and you can go in and find them in your asset manager. Now, one more thing that we haven't shown you yet that I think is a really big deal, and that is the way that we incorporate collaborators into our project. And today, this is nothing really new, but you have a way to see your collaborators. You can edit them, you can delete them from access. And right now you can grant them access to a workspace. Well, we thought it would be better if we went a little bit deeper with that. So now when you want to edit or you go in and add a new collaborator, you're going to see a couple of things that are there. Number one, you can choose the workspace that you want to have. But after that, you're also going to be able to put them into very specific features inside of that workspace to say, I don't want them to be able to do video, or I don't want them to be able to do audio. I don't want them to be able to do music. You can choose to grant them access to that or not. And so now inside of the workspace, you have a little bit more control over where your collaborators are allowed to do the work. So that is also something that you haven't seen yet, that we got to share with you about some of the changes that are happening with existing stuff. Now, one more piece that's really exciting, I think that you're going to love, is the one-click connections. And so here are a list of our one-click connections that you'll be able to start with. And so you'll be able to take and add your accounts here. And from here, you'll be able to post directly by clicking our share button on anything that you create, whether it be a final render, maybe it would be an element inside of RUBI that you wanted to share with somebody else. You can do that by just getting in here and adding your credentials, giving it access, and then you'll be able to do share. Super, super simple. Now, one thing you'll see in here says enroll in auto DM. Now, these will all be grayed out because we don't have this feature finished. It'll be a third quarter finish. But what that means is that if you wanted us to automatically start DMing for you with leads that were generated specifically for whatever you're saying your leads are for, you'll be able to enroll with a click of the button. And this is where this will be handled. So if you're looking to build a business, you're looking to maybe push out something about your company, your brand, whatever it is, this is going to make a humongous difference in getting people to know who you are through a very personal one-on-one. But yet you are not manually doing that. It's all through our closer app that will be released in third quarter. But as you can see, this is the way that you will actually do this. You'll enroll in it by just a simple click. All right, so with all of those new little things that you've seen, they're kind of like part of just the operating platform. Today, we're actually going to talk more about the INTELLICHAT and the modules and how they work together. You can see my screen. Hope you can read this okay. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go through INTELLICHAT, and we're going to really talk about how you go about really digging in to understanding how you can really take and use this at a whole new level than what you are using chat for today, maybe even what you're doing with your modules. And so what we've learned through a lot of our, I guess, experiences here with, kick out. All the experiences that we have been doing with version 1 is all the things that we would like to do and change and how they would work better together. And that's what's brought us to, I think, the most power-driven conversational chat platform in the world. And it's called INTELLICHAT. And one of the first things it does is it opens up the ability to have all of the major platforms that are in the conversational chat in one place. Now, each one of them has a strength, a weakness, and you can go through and find out what you think is working best for certain things. And this is why on Tuesday, May 7th, I'm going to do a deep dive. I'm going to do a full 1 hour on just INTELLICHAT. I'm going to talk about each channel. What's the benefits? What's their purpose? How are they trained? What do they excel in doing? And then you guys will be able to really implement those into what you're trying to accomplish. So even GPT-4 and GPT-3.5, there's a big difference between the two. And sometimes 3.5 still gives you better results than 4. It's just the way that it's trained and what it is that you're trying to use it for. It's the same thing when you get down to Claude. Claude 3 just came out. They didn't come out with one, they came out with 3 different platforms, 3 different models. And the reason why is because 3 different models are trained in 3 different ways, and 3 different ones are better than others doing a specific thing. And we're going to break those down into each one. But for today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about just the mechanics of INTELLICHAT and how you're going to go about doing it, why you do it the way you do it. So let's start with this. Coming into it, you're going to create a new chat. You're going to see the model that you can choose. Click that's going to open up your drop-down modal, and you can choose whatever you want. Now, you're also going to see that this is make this my default. Now, there are 3 of these models that will be free. They don't go against your word bank, okay? So you can come in and say, Haiku is free, Claude Instant is free, and GPT-3.5 is free. You can use those as much as you want. They don't go against your word bank words. So you might want to make that your default. So if I want to make that my default, I'm going to click that, and I'm going to click the one I want. And now you're going to see that my default model has been updated. So now that I've got this, every time I come back into INTELLICHAT, this is what's going to be preloaded into the INTELLICHAT. And you can change it as much as you want. I like to change it to Opus because Opus is by far the best one, in my opinion, out there right now for most of the things that I am doing. Now, you also see that the personas are right here, right? So personas are all attached. And you're also going to see now that there's a way for you to see your avatar. So if you've added an avatar, it really makes it a lot easier to see what it is that you're trying to find in a way when you have a lot of personas. Okay, so if I want to choose Amy, she's tech savvy. I'm also going to be doing the exact same thing I had done before. I want to do, maybe she's a tech savvy voice that is informative. So that's all I'm going to do to get this involved into the content that's being generated right now. And again, you can go back and change it as much as you need to. And you can also, change the voices and tones and whatever else you need to do. Now, for the module, this is in our dev server. So I'm just going to give you a warning now. It doesn't have all the pretty pictures. It doesn't have all the little icons because those are all up on our databases that are in the production. And obviously, we don't spend a lot of time trying to mess with that in the backside. But when you go to collect a module, you're just going to be able to see all of the collections that are right here. Okay. And again, we don't even have all the collections here because it's in our dev. But if I wanted to go in and let's just say I want to do something with marketing, I would be able to click marketing. And now I'm going to see all the modules that would be included in the marketing collection. And they're all right here in just a simple little drop down. And now for me to use that, I literally just have to go and click hashtag generator. you're going to see that it'll have an image up here, a banner, and then you're going to see the places where I actually have to add things. Now you'll see this little dot right here. The number of dots, this actually tells you how many pieces of content you have to add. And if I'm looking at one that just has one, obviously it's just one. But if I see like the real estate, it might have like 10 or 11, right? And it's going to change the colors as you start to go down there. Now, the other thing you're going to see is that there's a way for you to favorite it. And you can just do it right from there. Now, if I wanted to do a hashtag generator and I want to create content, I just want to do it. I want to do it for RUBI AI is a powerful. No, I don't want to say is. I'm going to say the most powerful, value-driven AI platform in the world. So this is what I wanted, and I'm going to generate it. Now, one of the things that when I hit generate, this drops them directly into the chat. Okay, and I hope this is one of these that actually is working. Let me find one that's working. I should have just stuck to what I was going to do before. And now it's stuck because that is broken. Let me see. Let me go back to IntelliChat. Guess you'll get to see if I'm. Here's my default. This is default. Okay, go here. I'm going to go to marketing. Actually, I wanted to go to business. I know this one works. Okay, so this is a generative AI content creator. Okay. And RUBI AI's name. All right, so when you sit to generate, it's going to start to drop them directly into the chat. Now, what's important about this is, number one, you're going to see, okay, we're not going to hide what we're actually putting into the prompts anymore. We want you to be able to learn and understand a good prompt from bad prompts. You're going to be able to see what the actual prompts are inside the models, and so inside the modules, so you can actually go and fine tune it if you need to. Now, this is from Claude 3 Opus, okay? And there's a pretty big difference in what I'm going to get out of here compared to maybe what I'm going to get out of GPT 3.5. GPT-4 might be somewhat similar or close, but you can see it didn't put out much information. But here is the prompt, okay? So I'm telling you what to do, and I'm putting in the information that we're getting here, okay? Now, this is from this one place here. I can go through and I can see the executive summary. I can see my targeted audience analysis, my competitive analysis. I go through it all, right? And actually, it's just giving me pricing strategies. $79 per month for up to 50,000 words. I think we're doing a little bit better. I think we're doing better than what the market is saying. Now, if I wanted to do this again, though, and let's say I wanted to do the exact same thing, I want to leave it exactly the same, I'm just going to hit this little edit button. And if you can see this edit right here, edit automatically reloads this prompt down here. Now, I want to take off the extra R. And now I just want to be able to run it again. But this time, I want to be able to run this. I'm going to go ahead and fix all of my typos that are sitting here. Not that it matters, but it's just that easy to edit something that's already been done. But this time I want to run it on GPT-4, let's say. I'm just going to change it in the model. And I'm just going to hit the send arrow one more time. And now I'm going to get the same thing coming from GPT-4. And now I can go through and I can really start to analyze the difference between the two training platforms. You can see that GPT-4 writes a little faster than Opus, because Opus is a little bit slower in the way it processes, because it's processing a little bit more competitively to like what GPT-5 will be. GPT-4, pretty fast. But if you compare it to GPT-3.5, Turbo, it's not that fast at all. But when you get to the results, this is what I love about the way that you're able to do this. Is now I can go through here and I can really see the difference between the two. Okay, I got pricing strategies here. It's giving me some different ideas for this. If I come into my 4, my pricing strategies, look, I got premium subscription tiers and introduction. It doesn't really go into as much details. there's quite a bit of stuff that's going on here. Now, look, I also have my competitors, direct competitors that I'm dealing with. We know that we don't have direct competitors, right? We all just are in our own green ocean, our blue ocean. So I can go through, I can see that I do have Copy AI and Right Sonic also coming up in my competitive analysis. So just by getting in this stuff, I can start to really get more information. And I can't see the chat right now, but I do think that you guys should see the values of being able to run against different models. Now, what's really awesome about this is that because it's in a chat and not in a module that is a completion, that means it's open-ended. I can have a conversation about what's actually here. So now if I want to go in there and I want to say, give me a strategy to directly compete against Right Sonic AI. I'm asking it to go back and look at what has actually been given up in the stuff above. And now to process that and to give me another strategy to come against that. Now look at how easy this is without having to go out and start a new deal to come up with all this, right? Now I'm coming up with a very specific strategy. Now this is strategies done on GPT-4. Guys, if you are in marketing or you're trying to do things with marketing, the way that you can jump down deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper in this, but being started and fed with the module is super, super powerful. Okay. One of the other things I like is I can be very specific in what I'm looking for. So like user acquisition is a measuring of a success. You see that right here. I don't want to have to redo the entire module to come up with a different way, or maybe I just want to know what are even more finite ways of tracking user acquisition. Okay, track the number of new signups, paying customers, and the conversion rate from free paid subscriptions. Okay, that's what's there already, but maybe I want to go a little bit deeper. Now I want to go in and say, give me specifics of how I should track. Let's say, let's do. Track paying customers, because I might want to break it down by different levels of customers coming in, right? But this time when I run this, I actually want to run this maybe on Claude 3 Haiku. Okay, so all this information is here, right? I don't have to redo everything for Haiku now to get it. It's actually taking the conversation and immediately giving me back what I need, part of the conversation. It doesn't matter what model I'm using, and I'm having a conversational chat, essentially with every single model that's out there that's integrated, all at the exact same time. And so now I can go through and I can get real deep information about robust customer onboarding, sign up process to capture the detailed information. I can utilize unique campaign tracking codes to bring them in. I can monitor customer acquisition costs by really going and giving me the exact formulas for doing that. The billing and subscription management. This is about knowing which platform they're coming in, tracking my monthly recurring revenue, my annual recurring revenue. All of this stuff is just built right into the chat, just asking it questions over and over and over. Now, if you start a new chat, it's just like that easy. Just go and start a new chat. If you want to go and do a new module, you can go up here and do a new module. I'm going to go up here. I was going to show you another thing that was a good one. It's a book summary here. I'm going to use it to do Blue Ocean Strategy because we've seen this one so many times. And so I got my book that I want to use, and then my author. All right, and I'm going to hit generate. When you go through the models, you're going to see a lot of different options that you can go in. It's like not a lot. It gives me a very high level in Haiku. It's super fast though. It doesn't go against my words. Like I get a lot of information very quickly. But I want to do that again. So again, I hit my edit button, right? My edit button now loads everything down here with my prompt. You don't have to rewrite anything. I want to run the exact same thing, but I want to run it this time on Cohere. So now I'm going to load it into Cohere. And now I'm going to actually hit chat with search. So now I'm going to hit return. Now, one of the things you're going to see is when you use Cohere and you use our chat with search, you see that it's actually searching and it's pulling up information and it's loading this information. And now what it's able to do is it's using the search and it's using the actual information to pull in exactly where things are brought from. It's citing it, those key areas. And what's amazing when you do this is that every one of these tells you exactly where it got that information. It's citing its sources for you all inside the chat. So if you're looking to do like a marketing piece for a client and you're pulling out stats, wouldn't it be nice to be able to have that and cite that exactly where it came from? And you can just cite the source inside the document so they can go and look at it too. And one of the things that's really cool is that this is a link that actually brings you to another page, and you can't see it because it opens up a new page on my deal. But this actually links you to the website where it pulls up that information and you can go see that. And it does it for every piece that it was tracked in. So different places, here's Wikipedia that's pulling it from. Here's 4 different places that it found this information. And it's going to go and open those up in the different places where you can go and see and learn more about this. If you're doing research, you're doing essays, this is a massive tool in what you are going to be able to do. And it's like incredible stuff. Now, also inside of the IntelliChat, we have this nice feature to do chat with search, right? But we also have the ability to open up this window. This little plus sign opens up our sliding drawer, and we have the word anchoring. What we're doing with anchoring is we're saying, we want you to do the querying. Yes, we want to use the model LLM, but before we get to that, we actually want you to use whatever's been uploaded. So I have 2 ways to do that. One, I can use a website. I don't have to go scrape the website and then go load that information to go do it. We actually have it to where you just put in the website. We are selfless.com. And now I'm going to go and query against that, okay? Now, I'm not even going to clear my chat. I'm just going to go and say, I'm going to use my anchoring. I'm going to use the website to do that, okay? And I'm going to ask you here, give me details on the tokenization of Selfless. Now, it has nothing to do with our previous conversation, right? So this is going to come directly off of what it's gaining from this website. And you can see immediately it's going to give me this information. And what does it do? Gives me exactly on the website where it is found, and I can go and follow that up. Anchoring is also bigger than just searching a website. If I don't want to search the website, I actually can upload a file, a PDF file, a text file. I can upload anything I want right here. I have already uploaded my white paper. Okay, this is the white paper from Selfless. It explains the tokenization. So I'm going to ask this question again, but this time I'm going to use it from the white paper. Okay, again, how do I get to my same thing? Well, I just go up here, hit the edit. It's going to load it back in. And now I'm going to go, I'm going to actually not use the website, but I'm going to use the white paper that I'm going to get it from. And you can see now it's a lot different because this is what's on the web page, but this is what's from the white paper. And you can see that it's pulling it from the white paper that was released on June 2022. Okay, unbelievable ways for you to go through and do unbelievable research. Now, if you are doing network marketing, I'm going to tell you one of the best ways that this tool is going to work for you is you can upload through a PDF or a text file your product one sheets, and you can do something specific to a product. So if I want to do something here specific on the white paper, I want to say, create me 2 different Facebook posts on Selfless. This is going to keep my Facebook posts based upon what's inside of my document. This is not going to be going outside of the document confines. So now I can be safe in what I'm doing here. Look at this. I can go through and There's 2 potential Facebook posts that you can use. Have you heard about Selfless yet? It's the, and then Selfless is a social entrepreneurship channel for, okay, you can go on and on and on and on and on with this, right? Here's the cost, sustainable giving, profitable business, consumers. You guys can go through and again, find all the places that you want. Now you can also go through and do all kinds of combinations. Obviously you want to be choosing your persona to come in here, right? So let's find I think Emma is one of them. And so I want to do something like that directly for Emma. I'm going to do it for this tone here. Again, what do I have to do? I don't really have to do anything different. I just click this edit button. It reloads my prompt, send it out again. And by the way, the window doesn't have to be open. You can close it at any time. And now I have 2 different things. Now these are based directly into what is happening with Emma, right? So money with a mission, that's what Selfless is all about. When you join Selfless movement, you'll be part of a community that fights human trafficking and supports charity through the Dow Give to Earn model. Check them out and join us. I'm just giving hashtags. Guys, this is a powerful, powerful, powerful tool for you to be able to do whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. Now, if you're doing this as part of a project, when you open up this slide window and you go to history, all of your history of the chats are built in right here. Again, you have the same ability to edit the name. You can go in and you can, delete them or whatever. But if you're in a project, the only things that will show up in your history will be those for that project. It's just going to be very simple for you to stay focused and narrow in on what it is that you're trying to do. It's also important for you to be organized. So don't do what I just did here. Don't start with doing blue ocean strategy and all of a sudden jump in and start doing something with Selfless, because it's in 2 different places. So start new chats, keep them in a good workflow. If you're doing a project, you want to stay focused in the project and what you're using for that specific project. Instead of going back and forth, keep it into the project. Now, the last thing that you don't see up here right now are prompts and the editor. Even if you came over to IntelliChat on the left-hand menu, which is just our fast build process workflow, it's not your project workflow. That's what we're using right now, by the way. If I just hit IntelliChat, it's going to just pop up. That's what we're seeing right now. It's not tied to a project. It's going to be saved into my general files. That's why you see all these different ones down here in my history, because it's loading everything in my general files. But I will have also the ability to do editing just like we do today inside the drawer. And so hopefully that will be finished being added in today, on tomorrow. Hopefully they get their internet access back, because that is the team in dev in Brazil that's finalizing that push. But you'll be able to do exactly what you're doing right now in our version 1, where you can copy and paste and go down and come back and forth right from your drawer. Super simple, super easy. I know that some people can't see it in the dark mode. I don't know if it's any better in the light mode, but you'll be able to flip those over as well, just like you do today. Just is pretty powerful how you go about it. Now, 2 more things, and then we're going to move on. Again, you can get to and from that drawer from the plus sign to get to anchoring. Now, anchoring is only going to show up when you're looking at a model that uses that. Okay, so if I go to 3.5, you're going to see that it says, please select a compatible model. Cohere is the only current model that we have that supports anchoring. Okay, as this goes on and we have the ability to go deeper into anchoring into other platforms, we'll do that. But we're rolling it anchoring out with Cohere. That's our first one. Now you also see Gemini's down here. You can use that. You can go through and do whatever else you want to. But this is going to be super powerful. You do. Now the next thing that you're going to see down here is that chat to search. That's only going to show up when you're on Cohere. Okay, if you're on Cohere, you see chat with search. Chat with search is not the same thing as anchoring. What chat to search does, if you click it down here, is it's just going to go through the process of going out and getting information and then using it as a search. What's actually happening when anchoring is I'm using the website to be scraped and all the data within the website to be part of the query. Two different things that are happening there. So anchoring and this little button down here, not the same. Last thing. As you see, as you start to build long prompts, let me see if I can find a longer prompt up here so we can push it down. So we got a longer prompt. You can see now that we can organize our prompt and we can make the stock returns inside of the box. You also see that it goes up. So I can keep having longer and longer versions of this as I go through, and I just hit the return button. When you hit the return button on default, it's going to automatically process and send it to be processed. But what if I wanted that to just open up a new line? Because some people like to do that. I actually prefer to have the return button process it, but then I would love the ability to go ahead and do soft returns, like have a way to organize my prompt so I can see it. And that's what this little cogwheel is down here. It's the input preferences. I can either send a message by shift plus enter for a line break, or my return is going to send a message. So if I'm doing the same thing, like I'm just going to copy this back in here and I want to hit a line return, I'm just going to hit the shift and enter at the same time. So if I'm on here, shift and enter, see how I get new lines instead of it processing? But if I hit just enter, it's going to process. You have the ability to change that however you want to. You can say that the input is going to just do a line break, and then you will need to click the icon to send it. It's totally up to you, whatever works best for you. This is a preference that you can set specifically for your platform. All right, so Corey, I put in a ton of stuff here. There's going to be a lot more information coming. Guys, this is going to be broken down into a million different pieces of videos that you can watch inside of RUBI. So you want to know what each of these models mean. There's going to be a place of, you click up here, it's going to open up a video and explain each one. You're not going to have to go through and try to remember it all. But this is why the demo is being created right now, so that we can start to teach and train the people who are using it every day, that are able to teach and train others. Be part of that process of getting this out there. As you can see, it's not your everyday, ordinary chat. It's on a whole new level. This thing's on steroids that aren't even legal. That's how amazing this thing is. And I can tell you, this is just the beginning of kind of where we are. We have incredible ideas of what to do in the future. But how powerful this is for you right now, this is the most powerful, value-driven platform in the world at your fingertips. Now, let's go to the Flexnomics. I showed you last week. I want to show you again, though, just how awesome the tryrubi.com site is. Is anybody super excited about being able to go after customers, just customers, but have just an incredible website that gives you all the information that you can literally send them in the app? Boom, go check out this incredible AI product. You have to have it. It will change your life. Boom. And go there and let tryrubi.com do all the work for you. That is what this site is intended to do. You will have all of your replicated website stuff. So if you've chosen to put your name, or chosen to put your business, your email, your phone number, whatever it is, whatever you choose in the back office, that is what's actually going to show up right up here in the top. They can immediately get started. They don't have to go through a lot. They can immediately jump to our pricing right off the top. And then this will actually be using Google Translate. So any language can use this. You don't have to be bound to just English. Now, the one subscription, this actually is just a way for them to see everything encompassing. This is actually a gift. And it will go through every feature that's sitting inside of RUBI. They can get it all. See what's going on. All you need, all in one. Every time you click on one of these, it's actually going to show you what it is about. You can go in and see the layouts. You can understand how to make it work. And then you go into our imagery. You can see how beautiful it is, how much you can really create. And of course, we have our virtual studio video. That'll be sitting there ready to play. Come find your voice. Well, this is where it talks about voice design and voice cloning and voice collections. And this actually is a working model. So that I can say, yes, I want to hear it in this voice or in that voice. And it's going to have it in this, it will play the different voices so they can hear the quality of those voices. Then you look at the price point, guys. All retail price points, because we're moving all to retail price points. For two reasons. One, I think that we should reward those that are building and helping us build the culture and the video and the world that we're out there as distributors. And that's where if you get personally left, right, one person's, we call it binary qualified, but if you get two team qualified, you're going to get down to the 15, 25, and 50. If you're already there, you're there. Your grandfather did. You don't have to worry about it. But for everybody new, they're going to come in regardless of whether they're a distributor or a customer at the $20, $30, and $55 price points. And this is really number one about saying our product is worth every dime. We're not discounting our products. All of our products are worth every single dime we're billing for it. In fact, if you looked at the other models that we just ran in our marketing strategies, it should be $79 and $99 and $149. Why do we have it at 20, 30, 55? It's because that is the way that the whole world can use our product. We're not done yet. We're going into RUBI music now. We're going to talk about royalty-free tracks that you can create, your unique sounds that you can create, bring in your own lyrics and do your own stuff, AI written songs. You can have the whole song written for you if you wish. We show one of those off just about every single time that we do these now. In fact, I don't know if you heard my love song. That was a little bit corny. It was a little corny, but it's okay. A love song for RUBI. You know who means love, right? There's a love that shines so bright. Okay, it was 70s too. Okay, I'll give you that much. All right. So anyway, you can go and create unbelievable stuff inside of there. The soundtrack, all of that is right here. You can get in and really see the value, and looks amazing. Anyone love the look of this thing? I mean, anybody loving it? I mean, it's really, truly one of those things that should be able to catch people's attention and get there. And of course, we're also calling all artists. And this is going to be, there actually is a link at the bottom of this that will take them right to signing up to be part of the RUBI Music Drops. Again, every quarter, we're dropping a new album. And this is going to be a dynamic way. Now, the one thing that's really cool, and we're going to show you next week, the new myflex.ai site, your replicated site for the entire image. Because now you're getting into Flex and you're starting to talk about the business opportunity, the lifestyle that this could bring, and the ability that, this business opportunity brings to around the world. We're going to be bringing that in also into the same look and feel that you see right here. All of the things that you do see here about the product obviously will be part of that site. So you can come either direction. You can send them to myflex.ai if you're looking at them to become a distributor, or you can send them directly to tryrubi.com. And you know what? There's something special, even about those customers that start using this product. And I think you go and talk to Heidi, or you talk to Jennifer Philbrook, people who put in a lot. D Ferguson's another great one, that have used this product as customers. And how many people go in and go, oh, my brother needs this. I got to get this to my brother. His business needs this. And it's an immediate way of moving them directly into being a brand influencer with us. So very easy to move customers to distributors if you don't feel comfortable asking them about that first. I've seen some people moving. I've seen some people waiting, and I get it. I've been on both sides, and you do what's right for you. But I'm just going to tell you that what you're in for is one of the most incredible things you've ever seen. Driven not by hype, not driven by big leaders bringing in other people. This run will be because the product is massive and you have your hands on something so pure. So when you bring in and you build a business on a product that's pure just because of how great it is on its own, you don't have to worry about people falling out because it didn't meet their expectations. It didn't make them enough money. It didn't get them what all the hype was brought up about. You got it, guys. It's in your hands. And every day we get closer and closer and closer. And I just know that, every setback, everything that tries to hold us back is just one thing that's going to fail, because we are going to get this to market. It's going to be the most dynamic thing in the market. And you guys are going to have the platform to go and write a huge future for you on the business. It's just moments away. So keep your heads down, keep learning, jump into where you can, and let's just get this thing moving. It's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be life-changing for so many people around the world. And I hope everyone that's on this Flexcast is one of those. So with that, we're over the time, but thank you so much. I hope it has good content